please use it. I'm now setting up this group. Give me 2 seconds. Does our group contain mature content, I've been asked? Well, if that means frilly panties, no. If that means serious philosophical discussion, yes, I suppose.
If anyone wants to share in chat their own hypergrid addresses or information about their OpenSim grids they've already got set up, we've had lots of people kind of call in throughout the meeting, and we kind of had a show of hands earlier as to who already has an OpenSim grid up and running and who's planning them. So if you want to do any of that sharing, if you don't want to share real names, that's okay. We understand some people don't do that in here, but if anyone wants to type in chat so others know who they are and can kind of build those contacts after today, feel free to throw something in the chat. Orinoki, I'm sorry if that's not how you say that name. The Diva distribution is a ready-made download of OpenSim that automatically sets up a 4-region grid with hypergrid enabled. So it's kind of a pre-made installation. She's added some inventory stuff so you get some objects. So it's a really easy install to put on your PC so that you can learn. For me, that was what I used it for. But lots of people use that distribution actually to set up their first grid for sharing as well, because it's pre-installed with everything. I'll put up a link to it. Other people here, I'm sure, know much more about it. Yeah, I'm running it on a Windows PC.
Okay, I've just established the group. It doesn't have anything in it yet, but I've invited now everybody that's appeared on my HUD as being within 16 meters of me. If you haven't got an invitation, which Ju Roussel didn't get, that's because I couldn't find her on the people picker. So everybody should have an invitation now. Ellie Brewster, no, for some reason you're not on my list. Let me add you. My apologies. Right, Ellie Brewster's now got an invitation. Coyote Longfall. Joe Coppola should have got one. I'll send another one if you haven't.
Can you pass me another? I had to drop a group. Thanks.
Okay.
Gwinnett Ryder.
Yes, certainly. Hold on.
Can I just ask, is everyone okay with a photo going on a blog?
Right, everybody should now have an invitation. Has anyone not got one? Joe Coppola should have had one. Ju Russell, Ellie Brewster. Pookie Amsterdam should have had one. Hold on, let me invite you again. Hold on. Pookie. Right, Pookie Amsterdam should have one. Connie Lanzius, I thought, did have one. Let me try again. My fear, of course, is I mistyped, and somebody who's got one letter different from your name has now joined the group. Okay, Connie Lanzius has got one.
The other thing is, if anyone has a website about their project, can you throw it into the chat so people can track you down and read your stuff and see what you're doing? Because I think I know, like, Professor Norlinger's got some really good Creative Commons licensed nursing things in their community that they share. There's some really nice builds that I think we could share with each other, even if we never teach with them. It gives you content to put on your grid that's education content when you first get started, so you can show people some of the things that are possible. And it gives you content to put on your own learning grid to work with that's useful as education content. The other thing I want to mention is the there are a number of sites that show you how to use OpenSim on a memory stick, if you haven't come across that. And that's really useful for training if you've got labs at university that don't have it installed and things, that you can run it off a memory stick. It's also really useful when you go on the road to do workshops and things at conferences and you need to demo stuff. So Pathfinder's put a how to do that on his. There's a guy named Roger Stack in Tasmania that's got the how to do it. I'll just grab some URLs to pop in for that, and I hope they're kind of helpful, because it's a really useful way to to get people to look at OpenSim as well. You can give them a memory stick and say, have a look at this, and they can go and play with it. The other thing I think it's really useful in the long term is if you can put your entire build on it and send it to students, then they can have a practice set that they can work on, and they don't have to be online to do that. So it's a way for students to practice their building, practice their run-throughs in a simulation, get content, because with OpenSim you can upload content. Like a student could actually do their complete build on their home computer, save it as a file, give it to you, and you can put it up for them, or there may be opportunities for them to put it up themselves into their own regions. But it gives you an offline mode that we haven't been able to access in Second Life, and I think there's some interesting pedagogical ways to use that to improve what we do, and also to help people not get that I feel stupid because I can't move in this place thing that staff get.
Can I just add one thing to that, Decca, which is that one way I've been thinking about incorporating that pedagogically is to use it the way I would use in real-life design exercises. Imagine you wanted a group to make suggestions for adding a building into a build like the one here, for example. You had a space where you wanted something built. With the OpenSim on a USB trick, you copy this entire build onto a series of USB sticks for a class, and you challenge each of them to create a building. And so you can run design competitions by giving them the environment within which they will be doing building. And I think that's extraordinarily powerful.
I just posted a link to a blog from the SciSims, I think, and it's a thumb drive version of OpenSim.
Excellent.
And an article about it too. It's right there in local chat at 11:44. Sorry.
I have to leave now in a couple of minutes because I'm doing this in the university building, and if I don't leave in the next 7 minutes, I'll be locked in for the night. Decca, can we agree, if people think it's a good idea, now we have the group established, could we have a meeting in, say, 2 weeks' time here again to come back and see where we're up to? Because I think a number of people by then will either have their OpenSim builds or have used these instructions to build test grids on USB sticks. We'll have moved forward somehow, I feel. Yeah, I locked down with tech gear and no bed. Sleeping on a table. Does that sound a good idea? How does everyone else feel?
While people are jotting some notes on that in chat about a future meeting in 2 weeks, I just wanted to mention that last night when I was in here working, there was also some people here from Japan, and they wanted to join in, but this meeting is like 2 a.m. for them. And I suggested that perhaps